everyone. Good morning. Welcome to the West Texas Small Business Summit. I'm so excited to be here. I'm Taylor Soucy. I work with Flint Avenue Marketing. This is actually our CEO right here. So I'm usually her wingwoman, but she's going to be mine today, which is really excited. I'm super honored to be here and speak with you guys. And today we're going to be doing Marketing 101, but with an emphasis on buyer personas. Has anyone heard of a buyer persona or know what that is? Okay, well, you're not going to like me because I'm going to start with a pop quiz. No, I'm just kidding. We are going to do a poll, though, real quick, just to start out the class. When thinking about your customers, do you find that you have different types of customers for different products or services, making it challenging to narrow down a specific target? So I'm going to read through the questions. I'm going to have everyone raise their hand. Be honest. We're here to learn, grow together. I'm going to learn right alongside with you. So if you're an A, B, or C, don't be embarrassed, just raise your hand. So yes, I have different customers for different things, and it's hard to narrow it down. No, I generally have one type of customer, or I'm not sure who my main customer is. Who's an A? Okay, awesome, almost half. What about B? No, you just have one type. Awesome. Okay, and C, are you unsure completely? Awesome. I love the honesty. I have been there before too. I'm an entrepreneur, and before I worked at Flint Avenue, I'm a project manager there. I own my own business, and I would say even 6 months into my business, I was still a C. So if you're a new business, ongoing business, I saw you come in, Carrie. Need one of those. You could be a range of these, but don't be ashamed if you're a C. So like I said, we're going to talk about buyer personas today. What is a buyer persona? A buyer persona is a semi-fictional character you create that is a reflection of your ideal customer or client. I actually gave this presentation a few weeks ago to the ICCC, and one of the feedback comments I got was that the attendee said that they were a B2B business, so a business to business, and not a B2C. And they felt like the buyer persona didn't fit for them. I am here to tell you it fits. It fits for B2B, it fits for B2C. If I say client or customer, that's because we're gonna talk about specific people here in a minute, but no matter your business, this is foundational cornerstone, I promise you. It's important, and I'll try to make sure we fit into both. But Flint Avenue Marketing, we're a B2B. We definitely, our ideal clients are businesses, but as we talk, I'm gonna show you how we take our business client and narrow it down to a specific person within that business that we're gonna market to. So why is it important? I kind of just told you. Why do you have a business? Lots of different reasons. It's your passion, it's a form of income, but you can't have a business without customers. And so bottom line, that's awesome. If you, like my business was baking before I worked at Flint Avenue. I loved it, it was a passion. I loved to decorate cakes. That does not matter if I don't have customers and I'm not bringing money in the door, right? So we're gonna talk about how to create that person, your ideal client, and how to market towards that person so you have customers and clients. Key components of buyer personas. So a buyer persona, like I said, it's going to be a very specific semi-fictional character, and we'll talk about why it's semi-fictional here in a minute. But as we're building them, there's 5 areas that we need to focus on. Their demographic. How old are they? What's their gender? I mean, we're going to get nitpicky here in a minute. Where do they work? What's their career? How much income do they make? Their psychographics. What are their interests and their values? I mean, anything. Like, what do they like to do? Their behavioral traits we can tailor towards how do they buy? What are their buying behaviors? Are they scrolling social media or are they window shopping? What do they do on the weekends? How is their brain working? And then goals and challenges. Goals, what are their goals in life? What are their goals in their own business? What are the challenges and what solution can you bring for those challenges? So as we think about your personal business buyer persona, keep those 5 things in mind, and we're gonna work through them here in a little bit. But without these 5 key components, If you don't have all of them, you're not gonna have a cohesive ideal client. You wanna hit them all. And even, like I said, gender, it may not seem that important. It is when you're marketing. So keep it in mind. Okay, how to research your buyer personas. There's probably a million more ways than what I have up here. But if you are a new business or a long-standing business, that doesn't matter. The way you research your buyer personas is pretty much the same across the board, plus some. But you can do customer interviews. If you've been in business for a while, interview your customers. Is there a customer that you already see as your ideal client? They're loyal, they fight for you, they send referrals, they come back. It's so much easier to keep a client than get a new one. So do those customer interviews. Maybe you have that one specific client or customer or business that you work with, that you have like a great relationship with. Sit down, take them to coffee, interview them, ask them important questions. You may or may not like the answers they give, but dig in if you have that, really close relationship with one of your clients. You can always also do surveys and questionnaires. Maybe you're a new business, so you don't have those personal connections yet, or you're a larger business and you're like, I have quite a few. I have an email bank on my CRM. Send out quarterly questionnaires and surveys. They can be anonymous, so people feel like they can be more honest on them, and you'll get real life feedback. And as you hear from these actual real life customers that you've already had within your business, you'll learn more about who the ideal one is. Where did you miss the mark? Where did you win them? What roadblock did you encounter throughout the sales and buying process? And then if you are a new business and you don't have a bank of clients or customers, don't keep this out. Look at other competitors. Who are their clients and customers? And start seeing who they are. If you do have a business, do that as well. It's so important to look at your competitors. In any industry, you're gonna have competitors. The cool thing is, they don't have to be your enemy. They can be a stepping stone for you. You can, if you have a relationship with one of those business owners, build off that, talk, learn from each other. And if you're not friends, do some secret shopping. If you really like the way that company is doing business and maybe they have a customer you want, secret shop with them. How are they treating their customers? What is their sales process start to finish? What are they doing? What does their marketing look like? Do all those things with your competitor research. Your sales team feedback. If you do have a sales team, it may be you, and that's okay. Sit down with either your team or yourself. Think about the whole road of sales from start to finish. How are you meeting your customer? Where are they hanging out at? What are they doing where you are meeting them or your sales team is meeting them? What's the next steps and how do you tie a bow on the sale? Walk through those and see where the roadblocks, the challenges that you're having are, but think about it also from their perspective. Where are they feeling tension and frustration where maybe they're dropping off? If you're getting to contract and then they read the proposal and they're dropping off, maybe that's where your roadblock are. You need to work around, how is my ideal client receiving this? How are they looking at it? And then I already talked about competitor analysis before, but definitely run those. Look at their websites for your competitors or people in your industry or people that you see are flourishing business. See what they're doing and how they're doing it. And then analytics and data. If you have social media, which if you don't, this is me, big PSA, get social media. It's free. Sign up, get all the platforms, claim your name at Flint Avenue. We have it on everything. So claim it, it's free. The analytic reports are also free. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, you sign into your account and you can download the analytics from the past however many days you want to look at. What posts are doing well for you? Did you do an A/B split on your ads and see one do better than the other? Why? Look at those things and figure out the why. Why are things going well? Why are they not? Who's engaging with what? Are your black and white posts doing better than your colorful post? Or is your face better than an animated graphic? What's doing well and what are people engaging with? So there's that. I think I have another poll. Yes. Okay, another poll. Again, be honest. You don't get a grade for this, I promise. How well do you feel you currently understand the needs and behaviors of your primary customer segments? I have a good understanding of some, but not all. I have a clear understanding of my primary customer. I'm struggling to understand my customer segments. Who's an A? You feel like you're understanding some of it. Awesome. What about you feel like you've got it nailed down? Love it. Awesome. A+. I'm just kidding. I said you don't get a grade. Never mind. And C, who is struggling to find that ideal customer segment? Awesome. We've been there. We've all been there. Okay, perfect. That helps me gauge how we go on from here. Okay, the moment you've been waiting for. No, I'm just kidding. This is an example of our buyer persona at Flint Avenue Marketing. So we created this persona. As a team, we sat down and we literally made up a fictional person. Like I said earlier, it's semi-fictional because we actually based this person off of a real life client. And these things actually change. So just because we created one a couple years ago doesn't mean that's the same as today. So keep that in mind. We're going to create your buyer persona for today, where you are at in business today, but things can change. And Marketing Mary was not always our buyer persona. But about a year ago, we sat down, we reevaluated, and we realized that Marketing Mary is our ideal customer. Marketing Mary is about 35 years old. She is female. She is a marketing manager at a different company. Like I said, we are B2B, but we are targeting Mary at that business. That's what we're doing there. Hello, come on in. Welcome. Get him in a second. Awesome, welcome in, ladies. So she is a marketing manager at another business. We even put her income in there. Her psychographics, she values efficiency and enjoys learning new tools. So we learn a little bit about how she works, what she's doing. Her challenges are limited budget and tight deadline. That's important to us at Flint Avenue Marketing because we know her challenges and now we're gonna help her solve those challenges. And then her goals are to improve campaign ROI and streamline processes. So by partnering with Marketing Mary, Flint Avenue is able to help her overcome her challenges and meet her goals. So that is our goal when we are marketing to her. So as we built Marketing Mary, we sat down, like I said, we sat down at a table and we thought about all these things. Who is a customer we currently have that we feel like is our ideal client? They have been great to work with. They come back over and over again. They're easy to resell to. We have a great relationship and work well together. And it's beneficial to Flint Avenue, and we're also helping them win. Who is that client? And we came down to this one person. She's a real person. Her name is not Mary, but she's a real person. And we realized we need 100 of her. We need 100 of that one person that we work with. Do we work with a ton of other different people? Absolutely. This is our enterprise level client. We also have buyer personas for our local small business. For our technology portion of Flint Avenue, we have a buyer persona for. But our ideal client, and that brings in the most benefit to Flint Avenue and us to them, is Marketing Mary. And we, like I said, based on a real person, we sat down and was like, what does she do? The real life Marketing Mary, what does she do? She's a marketing manager for a different company. What have we seen the challenges that she's brought to us that we were able to help her overcome? Tight deadlines and budget. And we were able to help her with that because she didn't have to hire her own marketing team. She could rely on outsourcing to Flint Avenue, and we could meet those deadlines quicker because she could focus on her other work at her business while we did the heavy lifting in the background. But at the end of the day, she still won. We made her the hero at the end of the day because we were able to lift her and help her reach her goals. So that is how we came up with Marketing Mary. And we did it by we hit all those demographics we were talking about earlier. It seems really nitpicky, but this is such a cornerstone for your entire business. If you don't know who you're marketing to or who your customer is, you're never gonna find the right fit. And the fun thing about once you create your buyer persona is how to use it. You get to actually use it in real life. You don't create this wonderful character that you've spent time and energy on creating and then put her on, or him, or them on a shelf. You use it. And some of the best practices are prioritize your key personas. Like I said, we have a buyer persona for each service we offer at Flint Avenue. You may offer for one service. That's awesome. You may offer more than 2 or 3. Create a buyer persona for all of them, but prioritize the one that's going to be the most beneficial for your business, who's bringing in the most business for you, the higher ROI, and who are you helping more? Who are you solving a need for? Who are you influencing their life to? Base personas on real data. Like I said, if you have customers, base it on one of those customers that you want 100 of. That's exactly what we did with Marketing Mary, and it has changed the way we market completely. Our Marketing Mary didn't used to be female. It used to be a male. And we realized we are a woman-owned business, and our ideal client, multiple times over and over again, was a female. We were able to reach her better on social media. We were able to detail our campaigns and dedicate them more towards that personality. And it came back over and over again when we changed from our previous persona that was male to female. It completely changed. So like I said, the one you make now may change in a few years, but as you change and you grow as a business, it's a good thing your client is getting more detailed and more niche. It's gonna work out better for you. So buyer personas, base it on real data, past current clients. If you're a brand new business, do that secret shopping, look at your competitors, like I said, and you'll be able to find who your ideal client is. Regularly update them. They're going to change. It's inevitable. As a business, your goal is to grow, right? That's what we're here to do. We want to grow. We want to expand. We want to reach our goals too and help our clients reach theirs. And it's going to change. So, you know, if it's like a 6-month thing, a quarterly thing, a yearly thing, sit down with your team and say, is our Marketing Mary the same person we're needing to hit this next quarter, this next year? Or has our focus shifted a little bit? So think about those things and change it. And it may be as simple as we're still looking for Marketing Mary, but maybe her challenges have changed. Maybe she has got her process and deadlines snatched and she's ready to go. Maybe she has a different challenge or roadblock she's facing. So let's see where we can help her there. And then lastly, integrate your personas into your strategy. So the baseline is we want to build an ideal client, but then you have to use that. You have to utilize it in your marketing strategies, in your sales strategy, and in all the things you do to bring in new business. So you're going to focus on that client that you've created and tailor everything to it. Your email campaigns, right to your Marketing Mary, whoever that may be. Create your social posts with something they will engage with, that one specific person. How are you going to pull up on their feed? Where are they shopping at? Are they on socials? Are they on LinkedIn or Facebook? Are they at chamber events or are they at things like this, like summits? Where are they? Find out those things and then use your buyer persona to market directly to them. Okay, another poll. How often do you tailor your marketing strategies to different customers? I rarely tailor them. You have a one-size-fit-all approach. I sometimes tailor them, or you always customize them. Who's an A? A sometime, or a rarely? Okay, awesome. Who's a sometimes? You kind of have an idea, love it. And who's an always? You know who your customer is and you tailor your marketing. Awesome, that's great. Okay, like I said, we've created our buyer persona. Now we're gonna put it into play. How do we do that? We're gonna use it in our marketing because that is how you get your clients, through your marketing. If that is online, if it's digital, if it's print, if it's in person, if it's referrals, it doesn't matter, you're going to use this buyer persona. One, content marketing. So that's your socials, that's your email campaigns, that's your blogs, your written content, your website. Everything needs to have a cohesive voice where you're speaking to your buyer persona. Again, you may have multiple buyer personas and that's okay, but prioritize your top ones and then also tailor your specific post to those buyer personas. Create a cohesive voice. So if you are fun and bubbly on social media and then your website is flat and stoic, they're gonna be like, did I click on the right link to come to the right website? Because this is not how they are on social. And that's gonna like create some distance there. So cohesiveness is very important in your content marketing. And the way you do that is by marketing directly to that buyer persona you just created. If Marketing Mary is a little bit more serious, she likes the deadlines, she likes to get things done, and she likes to be educated. So that's what we tailor our marketing to on social content. Ad campaigns. You can run these. Obviously, there's things like print ads, of course, digital ads, social media, ads on different websites. Tailor those. What other websites are they on? Are they on a news website, or are they shopping on Nike? Are they looking at makeup, or are they researching the next business thing? Where are they surfing the web at? What newspaper, what article, what magazine are they picking up on the day-to-day? Do you know how you know that? Because it's in your buyer persona under their psychographics and their habits. You've already created that. You already know where they're living and where they're at. So utilize it. It's a game changer. Email marketing, we kind of talked about it with the content marketing. Create email campaigns. And the fun thing about these, if you have more than one buyer persona, write your email, have what you're selling or what you're gaining interest on, and then just tailor it to each persona. You don't have to change the whole marketing. Change the graphic on it. Change the words a little bit. If Marketing Mary is a little bit more educational, serious, into deadlines, we're going to have it a little bit more formal. If your buyer persona is bubbly and fun and cutesy and things like that, make it a more fun and engaging, colorful email. But the fun thing is, you just have to barely tweak the content and the visual appeal, and you can hit all your buyer personas. And then product development. What are you selling? And is it actually beneficial to your ideal client? Do you need to tailor it? Do you need to change your product or service? Or do you need to create a new one? Or do you need to start with your service and see what clients are already, if you're an ongoing business, you have your service and you know what clients are already buying that. But as you go on, tailor your services. Marketing Mary came to us for help with some ad campaigns and some graphic design. And then later on, we were actually able to change our service a little bit, and we helped create an entire commercial for them, like on set, real live cameras, film crew on set. So we started out doing some graphic design work for them, and we tailored our service and product and changed it because we'd already met that need for her. So then we changed it to consult with her, to be on set with her, to make her commercial the best it could be. So we had to shift a little bit on the services we provide to win her over again and reach her next goals and overcome some challenges. So as the years go on and your buyer persona may change, your product and service may have to shift a little bit too, or new things may come along. You may have to retire something, but as times are changing, make sure you're connecting your actual product or service with your buyer persona. That is the whole point. Okay, I think this is supposed to say measure success. I'm not sure why it's cut off, but we're going to re-success S today. So after you create your buyer persona, you put it into play, you can see if it's working. That is the great thing about these. And then if it is, awesome, keep working on it, keep doing it. And if it's not, let's see what we can tweak and fix and change and do it again. See if that's working. You can measure your analytics on social. Grab your analytics from your website. Who's coming to your website? Who's clicking your links? Who's visiting your page? Who's engaging and hearting your social posts or ads? Look at those things. If Marketing Mary is not, then you maybe either have the wrong buyer persona or you are not using your buyer persona to create your marketing. So figure it out, look at it, and utilize that information. Like I said, analytics are free. Gather them, look at them. Monitor customer feedback. After you've been using your buyer persona to market, do some more research. Go back to the square one we did on like slide 2 on how to research your buyer persona. Gather more information from your customers, do your questionnaires, do your interviews, and see if the challenges and roadblocks you had at the beginning of your buyer persona research are the same or if they've been alleviated. And utilize that to enhance or continue with your marketing. Align with your actual customers, very similar to what I just said. Just see if it's lining up. Are you connecting with the right people? Are they picking up what you're putting down, or are they picking it up and tossing it? And see what you can do to change those things. Or continue on. If you're winning, awesome, kudos. And you use KPIs to adjust and refine your personas. Utilize the data, utilize the analytics, utilize your feedback, change, tweak, or continue on, and you'll see your success. Okay, now the fun part. You got a folder when you came in. If you want to open that up, there is a lot of resources, I think on the left-hand side, or some resources. That is just for you to take home. There's some information about Flint Avenue. There's some information about SBDC and some other local resources, so take a look at that. On the right-hand side, there is a sheet that looks like this. That is your buyer persona. Does everyone have one of these? If you don't, I can give you one. I don't think you do. You don't have one?
No. Yes, I have another one.
Oh, yeah, of course. Could you pass that back? That sounds like me. I love it. I don't even know how I'm not doodling right now. Oh, yeah. Do you need one? Perfect. I got you. We have extra copies. You need one? Yeah, of course. Make sure I have another one. Oh, perfect. Pass it back. Okay, so this is the fun part, and this is where we get a little interactive. I don't know if you signed up for that or not, but that is what we're doing today. So this is your buyer persona worksheet. This is exactly the same worksheet we use at Flint Avenue to create, that we created Marketing Mary with, that we created our small business persona with. This is where you're gonna brainstorm, take down notes. I see intimidation in the eyes. This is fun, I promise. It's so fun. You get to think about it, and you may put 100 things down and cross out 99 of them later, and that's okay. But it's a start, it's a stepping stone. So has anyone here so far ever created a buyer persona or an ideal client? Awesome, you've created one. That is great. Okay, get up and teach class. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Awesome. So you may be an example, and you may write the exact same thing down that you have for your original buyer persona, or you may realize, oh my gosh, I need to tweak a few things. Maybe my demographic is off. Maybe I'm not in the same place as my buyer is. So we're gonna work through these together. I'm not gonna quiz you. I'm not gonna make you stand up if you don't want to, anything like that. But I would love to collab and walk through these together. We can talk to each other. I'm happy to come around and help you. But I want you to leave with at least something on your paper for your buyer persona. So I think the next slide. Yes, perfect. This is your buyer persona worksheet. Profile photo. We AI generated ours. It was fun. We did that last. We filled in all the boxes. I gave it to AI and they made me a photo. It was great. If you have an actual client that you're basing this off of, use that person to remind you, okay, my Marketing Mary is actually this person. I'm going to market to her always. But we did that last. We give ours a name, Marketing Mary. It could be something fun like that. It could be something, just a basic name, whatever you feel. But we like to do fun ones with ours. And then you're just gonna start. I like to start with my demographics. I feel like if I have the basis of who the person is I'm trying to target, the other things fill themselves in. But if I don't know if I'm talking to a man or a woman, or if I'm talking to a 30-year-old or a 50-year-old, it's hard for me to fill in all these other things. So we're gonna take a minute, think about your demographic. Right now in this moment, your ideal client, so it's probably been swirling in your head as we've been talking. Do you already have an ideal client in mind? Are you switching kind of paths and creating a new one? So think about who that is. What's their name? What age are they? What business do they have? What career are they on? How much money are they making a year? What gender are they? All those things. So take a minute, write those down. Like I said, you may write 10 things and cross out 9 later, but that's okay. This is just a brainstorm session. So, and if you feel like you're struggling on this one, I feel like this one's a slightly easier one. As we get into motivations and frustrations, those things may be more complicated, but I'd love to help if you have any questions. Give you just a minute to write those down.
Do you set a certain amount that y'all expect to have per, like, their demographics? Like, do you have, like, 2 or 3, or do you? artificial for like 5 items?
Like per persona, you mean? So on the demographic, I like to make sure all of those are hit. Age, gender, career, income. I really like to have all of those outlined for sure. As we get into motivations, frustration, needs, and channels, things like these, I don't have a set limit. Marketing Mary, we had 2 on the board. She actually has about like 10 motivations and goals, and then probably 10 more frustrations and challenges. But on environment and channels, we may have like 1. Yeah, I don't have a set number, and it changes per persona. But demographic, I like to have clearly lined out for sure. I want to know exactly who that person is on a basic level for sure. And then we'll get into the nitty gritty. Okay, the next spot I like to go is actually going to be the background. So right over from demographics is background. Who is this person at a little bit deeper level? Okay, we know it's a male. They're 55 to 60. Their career is oil and gas. What is their background? How long have they been in oil and gas? Are they married? Are they a dad, a parent? It doesn't have to be real life. This is semi-fictional here. So put their background. Who are they? Give them some life to them. They're not a static person on a page, so give them some life. That was a great question. I would say today, with our time frame, we're doing pretty good. Put 4 to 5 things down. They can be bullet points for now, and you can fluff it up later. But who are they? What's their background? You got it. You got it. Going to work on who they are. See a little bit of writing still, so I'll give you a little bit more time. All right, the next thing I like to focus on are their goals. So we know who they are at a basic human level, but I want to dig just one step deeper now. What are their goals? What are they striving for? It can be personal or business, career related. That definitely depends on, are you a B2B or are you a B2C? For sure. So we're B2B, so we like to do what are their career goals, because how can we help fulfill those in the business they are in? But if you are, I've been in bakery business, so that was definitely B2C. We did have some businesses, but that was not my ideal client. My ideal client was a woman with kids that she threw 3 to 4 birthday parties a year. That is who I targeted. So I made sure my goals for her were very personal. But if you're a business, maybe it's more career related. I mean, a B2B, it may be more career related for you. So maybe write 2 to 3 goals down that this buyer has. And the next section, which intimidates a lot of people, but this one's really fun for us. And Ashton, she's one of our team members as well. She's not here today. She is so good at these. And it's coming up with a quote your client, customer, would say. What is something they would say? Are they like, I love dogs and I love taking them on a walk? Or is it, I want to get some stuff done and I need help doing it? What is something they would say that you could speak to directly? It's made up, doesn't have to be real life, unless you've had a customer that has said something to you and you're like, that is something my other customers, my other ideal clients would say. It seems a little hard, it seems a little tricky, but be fun with it, and just put something out there they'd say. Give them even more life. All right, okay, by now, you should have half of your persona worksheet built out, which is super cool. You may have come in here never even knowing of a buyer persona, and now you have half of your persona built out. That's amazing. That's super cool. The bottom portion is where we really go in deep. We're gonna have to think about these things. You may not even have time to fill it all out here today, and that's okay, because I definitely want to leave some time for Q&A if you guys have questions or things you want to discuss or walk through your persona. But expectations, what those are going to be are, what is your client expecting with working with you or buying from you or partnering with you? What are they expecting? What expectations are not that you can meet? That's not what we're asking. We're not asking what you can do. We're asking what they're expecting. Coming in, and we'll talk about stuff you can meet here soon, but what are their expectations working, buying, partnering with you? The next one is motivations. This is directly from those 5 key components I talked about. What motivates them? What motivates them to reach their goals up there? Do they get motivated by praise? Do they get motivated by having a big win? Do they get motivated by people listening to them and understanding them? What motivates them to do what they do? Frustrations. What roadblocks and challenges do they have? What makes them frustrated in their day-to-day life? This section is the negative portion of this, but it's almost the most beneficial to you as the business who's selling to them. What frustrations do they have, and how can you help alleviate them? How can you make their frustrations disappear and them have a win in their life? What are you doing to help them meet those frustrations? Do you make bath bombs and their frustration is long days at work? Feed into that. Hey, come home, take your bubble bath with this bath bomb. It has essential oils that are going to relax you. It has, X, Y, and Z. Think about those things that are hard for your buyer persona, your ideal client, and meet their needs where they're at. Needs are also important. So what do they need in their life? What do they need in their own business? What do they need in their career, in their family life, all those things? And then environment and channels are similar. Where are they hanging out? Are they at summits? Are they at the mall? Are they on social media? What channels are they on? Are they on LinkedIn or are they on Instagram? Because those are 2 very different worlds. Are they on TikTok or Facebook? Do you know how you know that? Because you know how old they are. And if you know how old they are, you know where they are on social, okay? So see how we utilize those demographics to get where we're at? My 70-year-old grandpa, not on TikTok. I promise. He doesn't even know what TikTok is. He thinks it's the sound his grandfather clock makes. That's it, okay? But he does have a Facebook. He has a Facebook and he likes to scroll and he follows news channels. But me, I'm on Instagram. I'm a millennial and I am the most basic millennial. I hang out on Instagram all the time. And guess where I buy my stuff? On the ads that are fed to me on Instagram. I am a sucker for a good ad, and if you're telling me there's a 20% off if I click this link now, you best believe I'm buying it, okay? So everything starts with that demographic. I know it seems so basic, but as you've used that, you can fill in the rest of these. Okay, does anyone have a full filled out buyer persona? Amy! Is it a new one?
I actually did write a new.
That's so fun. Do you want to share with us? Because now we're going to put them into play.
I will, just to loosen the room up a little bit.
Yeah.
So at Flint Avenue, we just started doing like government contracting and working with state agencies and federal contractors. Very different than Marketing Mary. She is no longer our buyer persona, but we hadn't really taken the time to start really narrowing it down. So I wrote one for Government Gale.
Love it.
And Government Gale is a 50-plus female, probably a grandmother or close to being a grandmother. She's a government procurement officer working in the government. She's relatable and real. Her quote is, "Did you read the RFP?" Because that's a response for proposal or request for proposal. And her other quote is, "You know how these things go." She kind of has that attitude. Her expectations are that she expects me to ask questions. She's motivated by helping small businesses get our foot in the door. And she's frustrated when people don't read the RFP. And she's also frustrated with having to help small businesses get in the door. So I may need to spend some time on that. Her background's college educated. She works in the government sector. She's potentially a veteran. She wants to find great resources for the agency she's working for.
That's so good.
And she wants to win. She wants to be able to to bring a Flint Avenue to the table and us to be a good partner for the agency that she's supporting. I think her channels, she's in matchmaking events, and I think that she probably watches YouTube and LinkedIn and then Facebook. I think her environment's slow moving. I picture her in a gray cubicle in an
Yeah.
office somewhere.
That's good.
She's very procedural. She likes to follow processes, but she also wants to be understood. So that's Government Gale.
I love that. Good one.
I went a little intense, but I've done these a few times
Yeah.
before, so.
And I'm actually going to use Amy's example of Government Gale. And I didn't say this earlier, and this is so important. Actually, if there's anything you take away from today, I would write this down. After you create your persona, leave a spot at the table for them. Every time we meet, so we've been working towards Government Gale, so that's so cool that she has written that one. Every time we meet about our next campaign, we leave space for Government Gale to speak to us as we're collabing and creating our campaign. And we have someone in the room that speaks for Government Gale. If Amy comes up with this big plan and A, B, and C are great and D is questionable, someone speaks up and be like, I don't think Government Gale will go for that. That's not going to feed into her frustration. Leave a spot at the table for your customer. Let them be able to have a voice as you're creating your marketing and your campaign. Like I said, I can't believe I didn't say it before. It is probably the most important thing. Create your persona is very important as well. But leave a spot for them to speak. Okay, does anyone else want to share? Or I would love to open it up for Q&A. Yes, absolutely.
So I'm basing this on the one customer I've already gotten.
Okay, awesome. Do you want to share real quick a snippet of what your business is?
Yeah, so I'm starting a bookkeeping business.
Oh, wonderful.
Bookkeeping and analytics. So it's B2B. So my one customer is called Small Business Sally.
Love that.
She's a millennial. She's late 30s, early 40s. She's has 2, 3, 4 maybe jobs and side gigs. So she's also a manager and a small business owner, but her small business has been growing quite a bit the last 2 or 3 years. So her goals are to grow that business, understand her expenses, but then have more time to dedicate to that business.
That's awesome.
And then she also wants to pivot into something else that she sees has potential for growth. So her quote is, I know something's wrong, but I can't figure it out. So that's what I would
That's good.
So her background, she's a high achiever, she's used to working hard, she's comfortable with numbers, and she's always moving. But her expectations for me are to give her more time, give her back her time so that she can dedicate to the business and let her know what's wrong, what she's doing wrong, and how she can fix it. She's got a family that depends on her, and her motivations are because she's a high achiever. She wants to get those wins. She wants success, but she's frustrated by her finances getting more and more complicated. She's frustrated by late payments from her customers, and then getting behind and feeling lost. So she's always on the road. Her environment is in the office. She goes into the office, and then gets on the road. But she needs confidentiality from me because
That's a good one.
She doesn't want it out there. She needs clarity from me. And her channels, she's going to be on Instagram. She's been going through Facebook trying to understand how to do accounting and bookkeeping, but she just can't get it right. And YouTube and Facebook, yeah, those are her channels.
That is so good. So something I noticed that you said about 3 or 4 times is time. She wants more time, or she needs time to do the actual business, right? So what you can do to help her is speak to, hey, do you need to get back to what's important in your business? Let me take some of this off your plate, and you have so much more time back. You don't have to worry about those things. So you said time like 3 or 4 times. So that is awesome. I love small business, Sally. That's great. Anyone else want to share or have a question?
I'd love to share mine.
Yeah.
You can give me something to say to them.
Yeah, cool.
Mine is super difficult.
Okay, do you want to tell us what your business is real quick?
Yes, we have an oil field welding business.
Awesome, okay.
So I'm currently doing the sales. We're a very small mom and pop shop, and I am marketing to a male, usually age 40 to 65, because he's been in this position for a while. My character name is Production Donnie.
I love it.
He's upper level management. A production foreman, makes 100K plus. I'm not really sure what they make, and they're always working. His goals are seamless work production, cost-effective and timely construction, and look good to his boss.
Okay.
And his quotes are, "I don't have time for nonsense," and "Get the job done."
Like that.
His background probably is married with kids and grandkids, enjoys hunting and fishing, maybe golf. Fun, also serious, works all the time, rare vacations. His expectations are get the job done without supervision. Motivation is job promotions and raises and high facility performance. Frustrations, babysitting contractors and safety issues. The environment, this is so difficult for me because there's no social media in this age group and this demographic.
Yeah.
I don't feel like. So he's in the office, he's in the oil field, he's in his truck.
I like that.
They're on LinkedIn.
Yeah, LinkedIn, oil.
LinkedIn is oil and gas. That's our other persona is
Oil and gas.
That's, I'm entrenched in it
And
for
they're
20 years.
actually,
LinkedIn.
they're
They're
actually
making-
pretty involved in social media.
Um,
My boyfriend's
I-
oil field, and they've got a lot
I
of
based
different
this one on a
organizations.
particular one who definitely wouldn't be, but probably the arson.
I'm oil field too,
You're-
and it's the same thing, like the older guys in the oil field, a lot of them are, we don't have time for social media.
Yeah,
And LinkedIn, I put on mine, LinkedIn maybe.
Maybe.
Because some of them do, some of them are like, we don't have time for that.
okay, so then we may need to be shifting about, if they're not there, where are they? I know you said truck and work, they go other places because they need to keep their business just as busy, right? And you said that their frustration, what were their needs again, or their goals?
More time. Their goals are seamless work condition, cost-effective and timely construction, and look good to their boss.
Okay, perfect. So I think number one, we know where they're not. Let's figure out where they are. And that may be you figure it out, you talk to people, or you start going to places. Have you ever been to Oil Field Connections? We have one here in Lubbock and Levelland. They may be hanging out there.
Like
So-
the biggest obstacle I run into is, it's hard to find them in the field. You can find them in the office, but you can't get past the gate.
Good gate, sure, absolutely. So
And maybe your ideal client is the gatekeeper first.
that may be a great point.
Start buttering her up, bring her some candy, bring Starbucks by, maybe some old school sales tactics.
I'm gonna borrow this real quick.
I was told
And-
one time in that situation that you go in and you just start talking with them about the business and don't try to sell them anything, but just get to know that person as the gatekeeper and earn their trust, and then later on, worry about the sale and worry about getting past that.
Yeah.
And maybe, that's a great point. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Carrie.
And she said they did this and they were just walking down the street in a business area, that every store that they went into had no soliciting signs. And as they were met, hey, and we're not taking solicitors, we're not here, I'm just here to learn about your business and tell me what y'all do here, because your name doesn't tell me. So
That's
by the
good.
time they're leaving, they knew everything about it, and then all the way up and how to get in contact with people.
That's a great point, yeah. So maybe,
Shops too, early morning, Dairy Queen, McDonald's at 7 a.m. is a good place to grab coffee and say hello, let me buy your coffee for you.
and maybe your content isn't social. Maybe it's something physical that you can leave with them. Maybe that's what you need to do. Like this, this is one of our sheets that we created, and we just rebranded one for oil and gas specific because we know we have to put something in their hands for sure. So yeah, that's great. Radio may be great too. Yeah. So just find where they're at and meet them there. But yeah, that's a great point. You're on the right track. You're almost there. You almost have every box filled. That's awesome. All right, I think we have about 5 more minutes before we wrap up. Any other big questions, thoughts, something that you want to know more about? Well, if not, and maybe you're just afraid to raise your hand. I have one more. Sorry. Y'all are going to be so mad at me. I told you there wasn't going to be a test, and I've had a poll every other slide. Now that we've completed this exercise, do you have a specific buyer persona? Yes, you feel like you're confident in that. Starting to, maybe you have a little bit more work to go, or you still feel a little lost. Who's an A? Okay, awesome. Who's a B? Awesome. And is anyone a C still? It's okay if you are. That's okay, that's no problem. Okay, the last thing I want to leave you with, if no one has any other questions, again, we're Flint Avenue. If you want some help filling out your buyer persona, we have, yeah, I'm sorry. Did I miss you?
Not exactly on it, but who do y'all use for email marketing or what?
Like what CRM do we use? We use Zoho.
And Flowdesk is the new, we just
Flowdesk.
started messing with Flowdesk. It's pretty nice. It's really easy, yeah,
There's just so many
and it's inexpensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some other ones I've worked with, especially with small businesses, Constant Contact, but we just started with Zoho recently, and it's been really good, and then Flowdesk, yeah. But if you are interested with any help, we do offer free 30-minute discovery calls. I'd love to hop on a call with you and just have a little bit of one-on-one, and we can kind of detail out your buyer persona. Like I said, it's completely free. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I would just love to meet with you and set a good foundation for your business. But if that's all, thank you guys so much. I'm so honored to have been here with you guys. I hope you've taken away a little something because I learned today too. But enjoy the summit and have so much fun today.
Thanks, Taylor.
Thank you guys.